If you're looking for Microsoft certified Power Platform Fundamentals, or also called as PL-900 certification, this is the video for you. In this particular video, we're going to go over the entire curriculum and all the details that you need to know just to prepare for the exam. This is your one-stop shop to get your certification. To know about the certification, let's see what is it called. So it's called PL-900 certification, or also the Power Platform Fundamentals Microsoft Certified certification. Who is it intended for? It is for individuals who want to demonstrate their foundational knowledge of Microsoft Power Platform. The different skills measured in this particular exam are you have to describe the business value of Microsoft Power Platform, identify the core components of Microsoft Power Platform, demonstrate the capabilities of Power BI, describe the capabilities of Power Apps, demonstrate the capabilities of Power Automate, and demonstrate the business value of Power Virtual Agents. Each of these topics is equally distributed, so you need to know enough to cover that. And we will be covering that in this particular study. And the study plan actually goes over 2 weeks, and daily commitment required is 1 to 2 hours depending on your skill level and expertise. If you've used Power Apps quite a lot, it might be a piece of cake for you, but if you are new to it, it's gonna take you at least 2 hours every day for next 2 weeks to prepare well for this particular exam. For week 1, we will be covering Power BI, Power Apps, and Power Automate basics. The day 1 will cover introduction to Microsoft Power Platform. Next day, we're going to go over core components of Microsoft Power Platform. Day 3 covers real world case studies and use cases. On day 4, we will be getting an introduction to Power BI. In day 5, we will be looking at data modeling in Power BI. Day 6 will get you acquainted with advanced visualizations and interactivity in Power BI. Finally, on day 7 of week 1, you'll be looking at publishing, sharing, and reviewing Power BI reports. Then, stepping into day 2 or week 2, which has only 6 days because 7th day is pretty much when you take the exam. Day 1 will be covering introduction to Power Apps. Day 2, introduction to Power Automate. In day 3, we will be looking at advanced features in Power Automate. Day 4 covers introduction to Power Virtual Agents. Day 5 is a review and integration of Microsoft Power Platform. And finally, we'll be doing the final preparation and practice for PL-900 exam. So we'll be looking at everything that we have covered, we'll review through it and make sure that we are ready for this particular exam. Some of the tips for success here is consistent practice. Spend time every day practicing the tools that you learned. Also, hands-on experience. Build small projects using Power Platform to solidify your understanding. We will give you a bunch of different of these hands-on experiences during the course, so you can probably pick it up and learn on your own. Then mock exams. Regularly take mock exams to gauge your readiness. What I try to do is I try to do it after week 1 just to see how far I can get, and then I'll do it again after week 2 just to make sure that I am ready for that exam. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. So let's start your journey to mastering the Microsoft Power Platform and acing the PL-900 certification. We started today is day 1 of week 1, where we'll be looking at introduction to Microsoft Power Platforms. Let's go over the overview of Microsoft Power Platform. First, let's see what is Microsoft Power Platform. Microsoft Power Platform is a suite of applications, connectors, and a data platform, which is called a Dataverse, that provides a low code platform to create apps, automate processes, analyze data, and create virtual agents. The Power Platform consists of 4 main components: Power BI, which is the business analytics tool to visualize data and share insights; Power Apps, which is application development environment to build custom apps; Power Automate, which is the workflow automation tool to streamline repetitive tasks; and Power Virtual Agent, tool to create intelligent chatbots. Let's look at business value of Microsoft Power Platform. Now, why use Power Platform? First, it's low code development, which enables both developers and non devs to build solutions without extensive coding. It has seamless integration, which means it integrates with Microsoft 365, Dynamics 365, Azure, and hundreds of other apps and services. It has enhanced productivity. It automates routine tasks, reducing manual efforts. And this data driven decisions, which leverages Power BI for real time analytics and reporting. Let's look at some of the real world applications. First, automating business processes using Power Automate to manage approval workflows. Second, custom app development. You can build a mobile app with Power Apps to track inventory. Business insights using Power BI dashboards to monitor key performance indicators, which are KPIs. Customer interaction deploying a chatbot with Power Virtual Agents to handle customer queries. Let's look at introduction to components of Power Platform. First, Common Data Service, which is also called as Dataverse. Now, if you've heard that name interchangeably, it was called Common Data Service before, and now it's called Dataverse. And Dataverse is probably what you'll hear more. It is centralized data storage and management platform. It allows data to be securely stored and accessed by various Power Platform tools. Then there's connectors, which is pre-built integrations that connect your apps, data, and services. It has over 300 connectors which are available, including Microsoft services, example SharePoint, Teams, and third-party services like Salesforce, Twitter. Let's review and reflect. The key takeaways from this particular section is you understanding the purpose and components of Microsoft Power Platform. You recognize the business value it provides through automation, app development, and data insights. Now, some of the questions to consider here is how can Power Platform address challenges in your current work or projects? And also, which component of Power Platform are you most interested in learning more about? What's next? So, tomorrow we'll dive deeper into the core components of Power Platform, including common data service, which is the Dataverse, and connectors. Feel free to ask any questions or share your thoughts as you go through today's materials. Welcome to day 2 of week 1, where we're going to look at the core components of Microsoft Power Platform. Let's deep dive into the core components. Today, we'll explore two essential components of Microsoft Power Platform: Dataverse, formerly known as Common Data Service, and connectors. These are the backbone of how data is stored, managed, and integrated across various Power Platform tools. Let's look at Dataverse, which is a common data service. What is Dataverse? Dataverse is a cloud based storage space that allows you to securely store and manage data used by business applications. It's designed to work seamlessly with Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, and Power BI. Some of the key features of Dataverse include data modeling. You define data structures with tables, columns, and relationships. Tables in Dataverse are similar to tables in a database where data is stored. Security: granular control over data access with role based security. Integration: easily integrates with other Microsoft services like Dynamic 365 and third party services. Business logic: apply business rules, workflows, and calculated fields to automate data processing. Some of the practical examples for Dataverse include customer management system, where storing customer information in Dataverse for use across Power Apps and Power Automate. Product inventory: manage product data in Dataverse and linking it with sales data in Power BI for real-time reporting. Let's look at connectors. What are connectors? Connectors allow Power Platform applications to interact with external data sources, services, and systems. There are over 300 connectors available for Microsoft and third party services. The different types of connectors include the standard connectors, which are built in connectors available to all users, example SharePoint and Outlook. Then we have premium connectors, which are advanced connectors that may require additional licensing, example Salesforce, SQL servers. Custom connectors. Create your own connectors to interact with APIs or services not covered by the existing connectors. Some of the key concepts include the triggers and actions. In Power Automate, connectors use triggers to start workflows and actions to perform tasks. For data integration, use connectors to bring data from various sources into your Power Apps or Power BI reports. Some of the practical examples might include email notifications, where you use the Outlook connector in Power Automate to send emails when a new record is added to Dataverse. Another one is social media analytics. Connect Power BI to Twitter to analyze social media trends. Let's go over whatever we covered today and have a review and reflection session. So, key takeaways today is understand how Dataverse acts as a central data repository for Power Platform and recognize the importance of connectors in integrating external data and automating workflows. Now, the questions that you would want to consider here based on what you covered is how can you use Dataverse in your current projects or work? And which connectors would be most useful for automating tasks in your environment? What's next? Tomorrow we'll dive into real-world case studies and explore how Microsoft Power Platform is used in various industries to solve business challenges. If you have any questions or need further clarification on today's topic, feel free to ask. Welcome to day 3 of week 1, where we are going to look at some real-world case studies and use cases. Today we'll explore how Microsoft Power Platform is applied in various industries through real-world case studies. This will give you a deeper understanding of how the platform can be used to solve business challenges and drive innovation. Let's go over the overview of case studies. So the purpose of this particular section is understanding real-world applications of Power Platform, which helps you see the practical benefits and potential of the tools you are learning. The approach that we're taking is we'll look at a few industries and see how they leverage Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents. Some of these industries might be associated with where you're working in, and some of them might not, but we'll just give you a broader idea. So, first case study, which is in the healthcare industry, where enhancing patient care with Power Platform. Now, what is the challenge? The challenge is a healthcare provider needed a way to streamline patient intake and improve the efficiency of patient care process. Solution with Power Apps is developed a custom app for patient registration, allowing patients to input their information digitally, reducing paperwork and errors. Power Automate, which automated the workflow to notify relevant medical staff as soon as a patient was registered, ensuring timely care. The Power BI comes into picture where used to create dashboards that provide real-time insights into patients' flow and resource allocation, helping the provider make data-driven decisions. The outcome was improved patient experience, reduced administrative burden, and optimized resource utilization. Second case study, manufacturing industry is streamlining operations. Challenge is a manufacturing company faced inefficiencies in tracking inventory and managing supply chain operations. Solution using Power BI implemented to monitor inventory leaks levels, track supply chain performance, and forecast demand using historical data. Solution using Power Automate automated the process of ordering supplies when inventory levels fell below a certain threshold, reducing stockouts. And the solution using Power Apps was build a Power mobile app for warehouse staff to easily update inventory records in real time. Outcome was enhanced operational efficiency, reduced cost, and improved inventory access accuracy. Third case study is in the financial services industry where we're improving customer engagement. The challenge was a financial institution needed to improve its customer service and engagement strategy. Solution was using Power Virtual Agents, deployed a chatbot to handle common customer inquiries, freeing up human agents to focus on more complex issues. Solution using Power Automate was integrated with Customer Relationship Management, a CRM system, to automatically update customer records and trigger follow up actions. Solution using Power BI was to build and analyze customer interaction data to identify trends and areas for improvement in service delivery. The outcome was increased customer satisfaction, faster response times, and better customer service insights. Now, applying the concepts. Based on the industry relevance in healthcare, how can Power Platform improve patient care in your context? In manufacturing, how could you streamline operations in a manufacturing environment using Power Platform? Financial services, consider how automation and data insights could enhance customer engagement in finance. Identify opportunities. Think about areas in your current work or business where Power Platform could provide similar benefits. Consider processes that are manual, time consuming, or prone to errors and how they could be automated or improved with Power Platform. Let's look at the review and reflection section where the key takeaways from today's uh, video is real world examples illustrate the transformative impact of Power Platform across different industries. You also need to understand these application helps you visualize how to apply the platform to solve specific challenges in your work. The questions you would want to consider are which case study resonated most with you and why? What potential projects or improvements can you see in your environment where Power Platform might help? What's next? Today we covered a bunch of applications. Tomorrow we'll start diving into Power BI by exploring its interface, key features, and how to create your first dashboard. If you have any questions on or would like to explore a specific industry or use case further, let me know. Welcome to day 4 of week 1. Today we are going to look at Introduction to Power BI. Today we'll begin our exploration of Power BI, one of the most powerful tools in Microsoft Power Platform. Power BI, which also stands for Power Business Intelligence Tools, enables you to visualize data, share insights, and make informed decisions based on real time analytics. Let's go over introduction to Power BI. What is Power BI? Power BI is a business analytics service that provides tools for aggregating, analyzing, visualizing, and sharing data. It allows users to create dashboards and reports that are interactive and visually appealing. Some of the components of Power BI include the Power BI Desktop, a Windows application for creating reports and dashboards. Power BI Service, an online service, a SaaS, where you can publish and share reports created in Power BI Desktop. If you don't know what SaaS stands for, it's software as a service. Power BI Mobile, mobile apps available for Android, iOS, and Windows devices to access reports and dashboards on the go. We also have Power BI Report Builder, a tool to design paginated reports. And finally, we have the Power BI Report Server, an on prem solution for hosting and distributing Power BI reports. Exploring the Power BI desktop interface. Getting started with Power BI Desktop. Now, first we'll go over downloading and installation. If you haven't already downloaded and installed, here you can download and install Power BI Desktop from this particular link. Now, if you once you download, you can come back or you can just look at what we have to say here of navigating the interface. There's a ribbon similar to other Microsoft applications. The ribbon contains tabs for different functionalities like home, insert, and modeling menu options. Then you have Fields pane, which lists the data fields available for use in your reports. Then you have the Visualizations pane, which contains various visual elements like charts, maps, and tables that you can use to display your data. We also have the report canvas, the main area where you design your reports by placing visuals and arranging them. We have the data views, allows you to view and explore the data in your model. And finally, we have the model view, which shows the relationship between different tables in your data model. For hands-on exercise, I would want you to do is first load data, then import a sample data set into Power BI desktop. You can use the built-in sample data sets that are available or import data from Excel, CSV or other sources which you have on your computer or which you can get from somewhere. Next, explore the data. Use the data view to explore the data set, understand its structure and examine the data types. Creating your first Power BI report. So first step is to load data, where you choose a sample data set, example let's say sales or finance, and load it into your Power BI desktop. Second step is to create visualizations. Now you can create bar chart, create a bar chart to visualize sales by product category. You create pie chart where you add a pie chart to show the distribution of sales by region. You create a map, where use a map visualization to display sales data geographically, and you can create a filter visualization where apply filters to your visualizations to show only the relevant data. In step 3, format the report. Customize the visuals by adjusting colors, fonts, and labels, and then arrange the visuals on the report canvas to create a cohesive dashboard. And step 4, save and publish. Save your report locally on your computer. If you have access to Power BI service, publish your report to the online platform where you can share it with others. Understanding the Power BI service. Now, first publishing reports. After creating your report in Power BI desktop, you can publish it to Power BI service for sharing and collaboration. Creating dashboards. A dashboard is a single page, often summarized view of your data created for visuals from different reports. Sharing and collaboration. Share your dashboards and reports with colleagues, set permissions, and collaborate on insights in real time. Let's go over whatever we covered today. Let's look at the review and reflection section, where the key takeaways are: understand the core components of Power BI and how they interact, desktop, service, mobile. You gain hands-on experience in creating your first Power BI report with basic visualizations. And some of the questions to consider are: what type of data do you work with that could benefit from Power BI's visualization capabilities? And how can interactive reports help you or your organization make better decisions? What's next? Tomorrow, we'll dive deeper into data modeling in Power BI, where you'll learn how to prepare your data for analysis, create relationships between tables, and use DAX, which is a data analysis expressions tool, for advanced calculations. If you have any questions or run into any issues while working with Power BI, feel free to reach out and I'll get back to you. Welcome to day 5 of week 1, where we're going to look at data modeling in Power BI. Today, we'll focus on data modeling in Power BI, a crucial step in preparing your data for analysis. Understanding data modeling will enable you to create more insightful and accurate reports by structuring your data effectively and using relationships between tables. Introduction to data modeling. What is data modeling? Data modeling in Power BI involves structuring and organizing data from different sources into a coherent model that can be used to generate reports and visualizations. This includes creating relationships between tables, defining calculated columns and measures, and optimizing the model performance. Importance for data modeling. It ensures data accuracy and consistency across reports, enables complex calculations and aggregations, improves report performance by optimizing data structure. Loading and transforming data. Step 1 is importing data, where you import data from different sources such as Excel, SQL Server, or online services into your Power BI desktop. Use the Get Data feature in Power BI desktop to connect to various data sources. Step 2 is data transformation. Use Power Query Editor to clean and prepare your data. Common transformations include removing duplicates, filtering rows, splitting columns, and changing data types. For hands-on experience, load a sample data set and explore the Power Query editor. Apply basic transformations such as removing null values, renaming columns, and formatting data types. Creating relationships between tables. Understanding relationships. Relationships define how data in one table relates to data in another table. In Power BI, relationships are represented by lines connecting tables in the model view. Type of relationships. There is one to one, where each record in one table is related to one record in another table. One to many, where one record in one table is related to multiple records in another table, which is the most common. And then there's many to many, where records in one table can relate to multiple records in another table and vice versa. Creating relationships. Relationships are typically based on key columns that uniquely identify records, example customer ID, order ID. For hands-on experience, you can create relationships between tables in your dataset. You can explore the model view to see how relationships are represented and adjust relationship settings, the cardinality, cross-filter direction as needed. Using DAX or data analysis expressions. What is DAX? DAX is a formula language used in Power BI for creating calculated columns, measures, and custom tables. DAX functions include basic arithmetic operations, text manipulation, data functions, and more advanced calculations like time intelligence. Some of the key DAX concepts include calculated columns, where add a new data to a table using existing data. Example, calculating a profit margin. Measures perform calculations on data often used in aggregations. Example, summing sales, averaging customer ratings. Time intelligence functions that work with date ranges to compare data over time. Example, year to date, month over month comparisons. For hands-on experience, you can create calculated columns and measures using DAX. Example is create a calculated column for total sales, which is equal to quantity times price. Another example is create a measure for total sales by region using a sum function. Optimizing your data model. The best practices is use the star schema. Organize data into fact and dimension tables, where fact tables store quantitative data and dimension tables store descriptive data. Minimize your columns. Only include necessary columns to reduce complexity and improve performance. Use aggregations. Pre-aggregate data in the model to improve performance during report generation. For hands-on exercise, review your data model and apply optimizations where possible. Simplify relationships, remove unnecessary columns, and consider pre-aggregating data if needed. Review and reflection. Let's look at some of the key takeaways. Understand the importance of data modeling in creating accurate and efficient Power BI reports. Gain experience in transforming data, creating relationships, and using DAX for calculations. Some of the questions to consider after today's section is: how does a well-structured data model improve the quality of your reports? And what challenges did you face while modeling your data, and how did you overcome them? What's next? Tomorrow we'll focus on creating more advanced visualizations in Power BI and enhancing your reports with interactivity, custom visuals, and drill through capabilities. If you have any questions or need further assistance with data modeling, feel free to reach out and I'll get back to you. Welcome to day 6 of week 1, where we're going to look at advanced visualizations and interactivity in Power BI. Today we'll delve into creating advanced visualizations in Power BI. You'll learn how to enhance your reports with interactivity, use custom visuals, and implement features like drill through and cross filtering to create more dynamic and insightful dashboards. Advanced visualizations in Power BI. Let's go over the overview. Power BI offers a wide range of visualizations, including bar charts, pie charts, maps, tables, and more. Advanced visualizations allow you to present data in more complex and interactive ways. Some other types of advanced visualizations include combo charts, where you combine different types of charts, example bar and line, in a single visualization to compare data trends. Then there's maps. Use geographical data to create interactive maps, example field map, ArcGIS maps, waterfall chart. Visualize the cumulative effect of sequential positive or negative values. Square and bubble charts displayed relationships between variables with additional dimensions like size and color. And then there's God chart, where track performance against a target. For hands-on experience, explore different advanced visuals in Power BI and create a combo chart that shows both total sales in bar and growth percentage in a line on the same axis. Use a map to display sales data by region. Custom visuals in Power BI. What are custom visuals? Custom visuals are additional visual types that you can import into Power BI from the app source marketplace or create yourself using the Power BI developer tools. Using custom visuals. Visit the app source to explore available custom visuals. Import custom visuals into your report to add more variety to your visualizations. Some of the popular custom visuals for that, use the chiclet slicer, a custom slicer that provides more control over filter appearances and behavior. Hierarchy slicer, which allows users to filter data based on hierarchical relationships, example region, country, state. Synoptic panel, create custom maps or diagrams and overlay data on them. For hands-on experience, import a custom visual from app source and integrate it into your report. Example is use the chiclet slicer to create a more intuitive filtering experience for your users. Enhancing report interactivity. First, drill through. Drill through allows users to click on a data point in one visual and navigate to another report page that provides detailed information about that data point. Example, create a drill through report that allows users to click on a specific region in a map and view detailed sales data for that region on a separate page. Cross filtering and cross highlighting. When you select a data point in one visual, other visuals on the report page automatically update to reflect that selection. Example is select a product category in a bar chart and watch how related sales data in a pie chart and map update accordingly. Bookmarks. Bookmarks capture the current state of a report page, including the visibility of visuals, filters, and slicers. They are useful for storytelling or creating report navigation. Example, create bookmarks to switch between different views or scenarios within the same report. Tooltips. Tooltips provide additional information when hovering over a data point in a visual. Example is customize tooltips to show detailed data or explanations when a user hovers over a specific part of a visual. For hands-on experience, add drill through capabilities to your report, allowing users to explore detailed data by clicking on visuals. Implement cross-filtering between visuals to create a more interactive and dynamic dashboard. And finally, set up bookmarks to create different views or states of your report. Review and reflection. Some of the key takeaways from this section include advanced and visual custom visuals enhance the expressiveness and insightfulness of Power BI reports. Interactivity features like drill through, cross filtering, and bookmarks provide users with a more engaging and dynamic reporting experience. Questions to consider here are: how can you use these advanced features to make your reports more insightful and user friendly? Which custom visuals or interactive features will add the most value to your current or future reports? What's next? Tomorrow we'll conclude the Power BI section by focusing on publishing and sharing reports and exploring Power BI service. We'll also review the key concepts learned throughout the week. If you have any questions or need assistance with today's task, feel free to reach out and I'll get back to you. Welcome to day 7 of week 1. So, this is the last day of this particular week where we are going to look at publishing, sharing, and reviewing Power BI reports. Today, we'll wrap up the Power BI section by learning how to publish and share your reports using Power BI service. We'll also review the key concepts we have covered throughout the week to ensure you're well prepared to apply your knowledge effectively. Publishing your Power BI reports. What is Power BI service? Power BI service is a cloud based platform where you can publish, share, and collaborate on reports and dashboards created in Power BI Desktop. It enables users to access the reports from anywhere and collaborate with others in real time. So what are the steps to publish a report? Step 1: prepare your report. Ensure your report is complete and ready for sharing. Double check data accuracy, visual formatting, and interactivity. Step 2: publish to Power BI service. In Power BI Desktop, click the Publish button on the Home tab. Select your workspace in Power BI service where you want to publish the report. Step 3: access your report online. Once published, log in to your Power BI service at powerbi.microsoft.com to view and manage your report. For hands-on experience, publish a report you have created to Power BI service. Explore the report in Power BI service to ensure everything looks as expected. Creating and sharing dashboards. What is a dashboard? A dashboard in Power BI service is a single page, often summarized view of your data created from visuals from different reports. Dashboards are interactive and allow you to pin visuals from multiple reports onto one canvas. Creating a dashboard. What are the steps? Step 1: pin visuals. Open a report in Power BI service and pin individual visuals or entire report pages to a new or existing dashboard. Step 2: customize the dashboard. Rearrange visuals on your dashboard canvas, resize them, and apply different themes. Step 3: add interactivity. Use Q&A to allow users to ask natural language questions and get answers in the form of visuals. Sharing a dashboard. Share your dashboard with others by clicking the share button. You can control who can view or edit the dashboard. For collaboration, collaborate with team members by allowing them to comment on visuals or contribute to the dashboard. For hands-on exercise in this particular section, create a dashboard by pinning visuals from different reports and share your dashboard with a colleague or create a mock share to understand the process. Power BI service features. There's workspaces. Workspaces are collaborative environments where you can store, share, and manage reports, dashboards, and datasets. The types of workspaces are My Workspace, a personal space for your own reports and dashboards. Then there's shared workspaces, where there's collaborative spaces where you and your team can work together on the content. Then there's data refresh. Set up scheduled refreshes to keep your data up to date in Power BI service. There's manual versus scheduled refresh. Manually refresh data as needed or set up automatic refresh schedules, example daily or weekly. Mobile access. Use Power BI mobile app to view and interact with your reports and dashboards on the go. Some of the features are access dashboards, reports, and alerts directly from your mobile device. Use touch-enabled interactions to explore the data. For this section, hands-on exercises, explore different workspaces in Power BI service, set up a data refresh schedule for one of your data sets, and try accessing your dashboard using the Power BI mobile app. Review of key concepts. Data modeling. Structure your data with relationships and using DAX for calculated columns and measures. Visualizations. Creating and customizing advanced visualization to represent your data effectively. Interactivity. Implement features like drill through, cross filtering, and bookmarks to enhance user engagement. Publishing and sharing. Publishing reports to Power BI service and sharing dashboards for collaboration. Reflections and next steps. The key takeaways are: understand the full workflow of creating, publishing, and sharing Power BI reports. Gain hands on experience with Power BI service features like workspaces, data refresh, and mobile access. Some of the questions to consider after today's section is: how will you apply Power BI in your current role or projects? What areas do you feel confident in, and where might you need more practice? What's next? Next week, we'll start exploring Power Apps and Power Automate, where you'll learn how to create custom applications and automate workflows within the Microsoft Power Platform. If you have any questions or need further clarification on today's topic, feel free to reach out. Week 2, Day 1. Welcome. Introduction to Power Apps. This week, we are shifting our focus to Power Apps, a key component of the Microsoft Power Platform that allows you to build custom applications with little to no code. Today, we'll start by understanding what Power Apps is, its components, and how to create your first simple app. What is Power Apps? To overview, Power Apps is a suite of apps, services, connectors, and a data platform that provides a rapid application development environment. It allows you to create custom apps tailored to your business needs, whether you are looking to automate process, capture data, or create mobile applications. Types of Power Apps include the Canvas apps. We start with a blank canvas and design the app by dragging and dropping elements. You have complete control over the app's layout and functionality. Then there's model driven apps. Start with your data model and Power Apps automatically generates the app. The layout is more standardized and it's ideal for complex data driven apps. Portals. Create external facing websites that allow users outside your organization to sign in with a wide variety of identities, create and view data, or browse content anonymously. The business value include rapid development. You build your apps quickly with pre-built templates, drag and drop simplicity, and wide range of controls. Integration seamlessly integrates with Microsoft products like SharePoint, Dynamics 365, and also connects to hundreds of other data sources via connectors. It's cross platform. Apps you create can run on mobile devices, which are iOS, Android, tablets, and web browsers. Exploring the Power Apps interface. Let's get started. Power App Studio, the main development environment where you design and build your apps. Then there's navigation pane, which provides access to screens, components, and data sources. Then there's the canvas, the area where you design your app's interface. It's where you drag and drop controls like buttons, text boxes, and galleries. There's also the properties pane, which allows you to set properties for selected colors, controls like color, size, and actions. Then there's formula bar, similar to Excel, where you can write formulas to control app behavior. For hands-on experience, log into your Power Apps and explore the Power App Studio. Create a new Canvas app from scratch or start with a template to familiarize yourself with the interface. Building your first Canvas app. Step 1. Choose your data source. Power Apps can connect to a variety of data sources like SharePoint, Excel, SQL Server, or even Dataverse. For this exercise, you can use a simple Excel file stored in OneDrive or SharePoint. Step to design the interface. Add a gallery. Galleries are used to display lists of data. Add a gallery to display data from your chosen source. Add controls. Insert controls like buttons, text input, and drop downs to allow users to interact with the app. Customize the controls. Use the properties pane to change the appearance and behavior of the controls, even if it's just changing the colors. Step 3. Add functionalities with formulas. Use the formulas bar to add logic to your app. For example, use formulas to filter data in the gallery based on user input. One of the example formula for filtering is you use the filter word, and inside bracket you provide your data source and give the text input dot text in column name. This filters the gallery based on the text entered by the user. Step 4 is preview and test your app. Use the preview button to test your app. Make sure all controls work as expected and data is displayed correctly. Step 5 is save and publish. Save your app, and if you are satisfied with the result, publish it so it can be used by others in your organization. For hands-on exercise, build a simple app using a Canvas app template or from scratch. Focus on connecting a data source, adding a gallery to display the data, and using controls to interact with that data. Introduction to model-driven apps. What are model-driven apps? Unlike Canvas apps, which give you full control over the app layout, model-driven apps are based on your data model. Power Apps uses the data model to automatically generate forms, views, and dashboards. It's best suited for complex data-driven applications where standardization and consistency are important. For hands-on exercise, create a simple model-driven app using data stored in Dataverse. Explore the automatic creation of views, forms, and dashboards. Review and reflection. Some of the key takeaways from today are Power Apps enables you to build custom applications quickly and without extensive coding. Canvas apps provide a flexible way to design the layout and functionality of your app, while model driven apps are more structured and data driven. Questions to consider are what type of app could you build that would help streamline process or solve a problem in your work environment? Which Power App type, Canvas or model driven, do you think would be more suitable for your needs? What's next? Tomorrow we'll dive deeper into Power Automate, where you'll learn how to automate workflows and connect Power Apps with other services to streamline processes. If you have any questions or need help with today's task, feel free to ask. Welcome to day 2 of week 2, Introduction to Power Automate. Today, we'll explore Power Automate, another key component of the Microsoft Power Platform. Power Automate allows you to create automated workflows between your apps and services to synchronize files, get notifications, collect data, and more. We'll start by understanding the basics and then create your first simple flow. What is Power Automate? Power Automate, formerly known as Microsoft Flow, is a service that helps you create automated workflows between different applications and services. It enables you to automate repetitive tasks, integrate various services, and streamline processes across multiple platforms. Some of the key components of Power Automate include flows, the basic building blocks in Power Automate. A flow is a sequence of actions that run automatically based on triggers. Triggers, events that start a flow. Example, when an new email arrives, when a file is created, etc. Actions, steps in the flow that execute tasks. Example, sending an email, creating a file, posting a message in Teams. Connectors, pre-built services that connect Power Automate with external apps like SharePoint, OneDrive, Dynamics 365, and many others. Types of flows include automated flows triggered by an event such as when a file is created or an email is received. Instant flows triggered manually by the user, often through a button press. Scheduled flows run at regular intervals such as daily or weekly. Business process flows guides users through a set of steps to complete a business process. UI flows automate repetitive tasks in an application that don't have APIs, example legacy systems. Exploring the Power Automate interface. To get started, Power Automate portal. Access Power Automate by navigating to Power Automate. Then there's My Flows. View and manage your existing flows. There's templates, pre-built flows that you can customize to suit your needs. Templates provide a quick way to start with common scenarios. Then there's connectors. Explore the available connectors to see which services you can integrate with. For hands-on exercise for this section, explore the Power Automate portal, browse through the different templates, and familiarize yourself with the interface. Identify a template that closely matches a workflow you'd like to automate. Creating your first automated flow. Step 1. Choose a trigger. Trigger starts your flow. Examples include when an item is created in SharePoint, when a new email arrives in Outlook, or when a file is added to OneDrive. Example, create a flow that triggers when a new file is added to a specific folder in OneDrive. Step 2. Add actions. Actions are the steps that your flow will perform. You can add multiple actions to a flow. Example is, after the trigger, add an action to send an email notification to a specific person or group. Step 3. Configure and customize actions. Customize the actions based on your needs. For instance, you can customize the email content, including dynamic content such as the file name or link. Conditions. Add conditions to perform different actions based on certain criteria. For example, only send an email if the file is of a certain type. Test your flow. Once your flow is set up, test it to ensure it works as expected. Upload a file to the specified OneDrive folder and check if the email notification is sent. Step 5. Save and monitor your flow. Save your flow and monitor it through the Power Automate portal to ensure it's running correctly. You can view the history of the runs and any errors that occurred. For hands-on exercise, create a simple automated flow using a common trigger such as receiving an email or creating a file in OneDrive. Set up actions like sending notifications or copying files to another location. Using conditions, loops, and approvals. Conditions. Conditions allow you to perform actions based on specific criteria. For example, you can send an email only if an attachment is included in a received email. For example, create a flow that only sends a notification if the file size is greater than a certain value. Loops. Loops allow you to repeat actions multiple times. For example, you can iterate over a list of items in SharePoint and perform actions on each item. Example is, create a flow that sends a reminder email for each overdue task in a SharePoint list. Approvals. Power Automate can be used to automate approval processes. You can create flows that send approval requests to managers or stakeholders and act based on the response. Create a flow that sends a document for approval when it's uploaded to a SharePoint library. Hands-on experience. Create a flow that uses conditions and loops to perform actions based on specific criteria. If applicable, create a flow that automates an approval process. Review and reflection. Let's look at the key takeaways from today. Power Automate allows you to create automated workflows that can save time and reduce manual effort. Understanding how to use triggers, actions, conditions, and loops is crucial for building effective flows. Questions to consider. What repetitive tasks in your work could you automate with Power Automate? How could you integrate Power Automate with other Microsoft tools or third party services to improve workflows? What's next? Tomorrow we'll explore more advanced features in Power Automate, including connecting multiple services, using complex conditions, and integrating with Power Apps and Power BI. If you have any questions or need help with today's task, feel free to ask. Welcome to day 3 of week 2. Today we are going to look at advanced features in Power Automate. Today we'll delve into the advanced features of Power Automate, focusing on connecting multiple services using complex conditions and integrating Power Automate with other tools like Power Apps and Power BI. These skills will help you create more sophisticated and powerful workflows. Connecting multiple services with Power Automate. One of the Power Automate's strengths is its ability to connect multiple services, both Microsoft and third party, to create integrated workflows. Examples include integrating SharePoint with Teams, connecting Dynamics 365 with Outlook, or syncing data between Excel and a SQL database. Using multiple connectors. Example 1 is create a flow that moves files from one drive to a SharePoint library when they are uploaded, then notifies a team in Microsoft Teams. Example 2 is automatically create tasks in Planner when new items are added to a SharePoint list and send reminders via Outlook if deadline is approaching. Hands-on exercises create a flow that connects at least 3 different services. For example, you could set up a flow that moves files, sends notification, and logs details in an Excel file. Using complex conditions in flows. Complex condition allows you to build flows that can handle multiple scenarios within a single workflow. This is particularly useful when your workflow depends on various factors. Examples of complex conditions. Multiple conditions. Use multiple criteria to perform different actions. For example, you might send an email notification only if the file type is PDF and the file size exceeds 1 MB. Switch case. Use the switch action to perform different sets of actions based on the value of a specific variable. Example, routing emails to different folders based on subject line. Hands-on exercises create a flow that uses multiple conditions or a switch case. For example, set up a flow that categorizes incoming emails into different folders based on specific words in the subject line. Integrating Power Automate with Power Apps. Power Automate can be integrated with Power Apps to enhance app functionality. For example, you can trigger a flow from a Power App to perform tasks like sending emails, updating records, or generating reports. Example integration is step 1, create a flow that performs an action such as sending an email. Step 2, in Power Apps, add a button that triggers this flow when clicked. Step 3, pass data from the Power Apps to the flow. Example, send an email to a recipient based on user input in the app. Hands-on exercise, create a simple Power App with a button that triggers a flow. For instance, create an app where users input a message and the app sends a message via email using Power Automate. Integrating Power Automate with Power BI. Power Automate can be used to trigger workflows based on data in Power BI. For example, you can automate the sending of reports, set alerts, or trigger actions based on data thresholds. Example integration. Step 1, create a Power BI report with data that you want to monitor. Step 2, set up a flow in Power Automate that triggers when data in Power BI meets certain conditions. Example, when sales figure exceed a target. Step 3, Use the flow to send notifications or update other systems based on the data. For hands-on exercise, integrate Power Automate with Power BI by creating a flow that sends a notification when a specific data threshold is met in Power BI report. Using advanced actions and triggers. Advanced actions. HTTP request. Use HTTP action to send requests to and from web services that aren't directly supported by Power Automate. Approval workflows. Create complex approval workflows that involve multiple approvers, conditional branching, and reminders. Advanced triggers. Recurrence triggers. Set up flows that run on a regular schedule, example, daily or weekly. Triggering flows from external events. Use triggers based on external events such as webhooks or API calls. Hands-on exercise. Create a flow that uses an advanced action or trigger. For instance, set up scheduled flow that runs every morning and sends a daily summary email based on specific criteria. Review and reflection. Let's look at some of the key takeaways from this session. Advanced features in Power Automate allow you to create more powerful and flexible workflows that can handle complex scenarios and integrate with other tools. Understanding how to connect multiple services, use complex conditions, and integrate with Power Apps and Power BI opens up a wide range of possibilities for automating business processes. Some questions to consider are: how can you use these advanced features to solve specific challenges in your work? What opportunities do you see for integrating Power Automate with other tools in your organization? What's next? Tomorrow we'll explore Power Virtual Agents, where you learn how to create intelligent chatbots that can interact with users, answer questions, and perform tasks based on natural language input. If you have any questions or need help with today's task, feel free to ask. Welcome to day 4 of week 2, Introduction to Power Virtual Agents. Today, we'll dive into Power Virtual Agents, the tool within Microsoft Power Platform that allows you to create intelligent chatbots without needing to write any code. These bots can interact with users through natural language, answer questions, and even trigger automated workflows using Power Automate. What is Power Virtual Agents? Power Virtual Agents enables you to build chatbots that can engage with users through conversation. These bots can be embedded in websites, mobile apps, or integrated with platforms like Microsoft Teams. The tool is designed for users with little or no coding experience, offering a simple drag and drop interface for designing and managing bots. Some of the key features include no code bot building. Design conversation flows using a virtual interface without needing to write code. Integration and Power Automate. Enhance bot functionality by connecting to automated workflows. AI powered conversations. Leverage AI to understand and respond to users' input effectively. Multi channel deployment. Deploy bots across various channels, including websites, mobile apps, and messaging platforms. Business value. Improved customer service. Automate responses to common questions, freeing up human agents to handle more complex inquiries. Internal support. Use bots to assist employees with routine tasks or questions, improving efficiency and reducing wait times. Sales and marketing. Bots can engage with potential customers, answer product questions, and guide users through processes like product selection or booking appointments. Exploring the Power Virtual Agents interface. Getting started. Power Virtual Agents portal. Access the tool by navigating to Power Virtual Agents. Topics. Topics define how a bot responds to different user inputs. Each topic consists of trigger phrases and conversation paths. Authoring canvas, the visual editor where you design and manage the conversation flow. Entities represent specific types of information that the bot can recognize and work with, such as dates, times, or product names. Hands on exercise. Explore the Power Virtual Agents portal, browse through existing templates, and familiarize yourself with the interface. Create a simple bot using pre built templates to see how topics and conversation flows are structured. Building your first chatbot. Step 1. Define the purpose of the bot. Decide what you want your bot to do. For example, it could answer frequently asked questions, help users navigate a website, or assist with simple tasks like booking an appointment. Step 2. Create topics. Topics define how the bot responds to specific inputs. Create a new topic that represents a common task or question. Example is create a topic for store hours where the bot provides users with information about when a store is open. Step 3. Design the conversation flow. Use the authoring canvas to design the conversation flow. Start with triggers, phrases that users might say to initiate the topic. Add messages, questions, and actions to guide the user through the conversation. Example is if the user asks about store hours, the bot should respond with the current hours and offer to provide additional information if needed. Step 4. Test your bot. Use the built-in test chat to interact with your bot and see how it responds to different inputs. Make adjustment as needed to improve the conversation flow. Step 5. Save and publish. Once you're satisfied with the bot's performance, save and publish it. You can deploy the bot to a website, mobile app, or other channels. Hands-on exercise. Create a simple chatbot from scratch. Focus on defining a clear purpose, creating topics, and designing a conversation flow that effectively addresses user needs. Enhancing bots with Power Automate. You can enhance the capabilities of your chatbot by integrating it with Power Automate. This allows the bot to perform tasks such as creating records in a database, sending emails, or retrieving information from other systems. Example integration can be step 1. Create a flow in Power Automate that performs a specific action such as sending an email or retrieving data from a database. In Power Virtual Agents in step 2, add an action that triggers this flow based on user input. In step 3, test the bot to ensure it can successfully interact with the flow and perform the desired action. Hands-on exercise. Enhance your chatbot by integrating it with Power Automate. For example, create a bot that collects user information and triggers a flow to send an email confirmation. Deploying and monitoring your bot. Deploying the bot. Once your bot is ready, you can deploy it to various channels. Popular options include embedding it on a website, adding it to a mobile app, or integrating it with Windows Microsoft Teams. Monitoring and analytics. Power Virtual Agents provides built-in analytics to monitor how users interact with your bot. You can view metrics such as the number of sessions, user satisfaction, and the most common topics. Use this data to refine your bot's performance and improve the user experience. For hands-on experience, deploy your bot to a channel of your choice, example, a website or Teams. Monitor the bot's performance using the analytics tools provided. Review and reflection. Key takeaways. Power Virtual Agents enables you to create intelligent chatbots that can engage with users, answers questions, and perform tasks. Integrating bots with Power Automate extends their functionality, allowing them to interact with other systems, and automate workflows. Questions to consider: what type of interactions or tasks in your organization could benefit from automation through a chatbot? How could you enhance the user experience by integrating your bot with other tools or services? What's next? Tomorrow we'll review everything you learned so far about the Microsoft Power Platform, focusing on how to integrate these tools effectively and prepare for the PL-900 certification exam. If you have any questions or need help with today's task, feel free to ask. Day 5 of week 2: Review and integration of Microsoft Power Platform. Today we'll review all the key concepts you learned over the past 2 weeks about the Microsoft Power Platform, focusing on how to integrate these tools effectively. We'll also discuss how to prepare for the PL-900 certification exam and ensure you have a solid understanding of the platform's fundamentals. So let's review some of the key concepts. Let's recap the major components of Microsoft Power Platform that you explored. Power BI. The core concepts are data visualization and reports, data modeling, including creating relationships and using DAX for calculated columns and measures, advanced visualization and interactivity, including drill through, cross filtering, and custom visuals. For integration, Power BI can trigger workflows in Power Automate when certain data conditions are met, enabling automated actions based on insights. For Power Apps, the core concepts are building canvas and model driven apps for custom business solutions, integrating with data sources like SharePoint, Excel, and Dataverse, enhancing app functionality with formulas and connecting to other services. Integration: Power Apps can trigger Power Automate flows to automate backend processes like sending emails or updating records. Power Automate. The core concepts include automating workflows between different applications and services, using triggers, actions, conditions, and loops to create complex flows, integrating with Power Apps and Power BI to automate processes and trigger actions. For integration, Power Automate flows can be triggered by events in Power Apps and Power BI, making it a powerful tool for automating tasks across the platform. Power Virtual Agents. Core concepts include building no code chatbots that can interact with users through natural language, designing conversational flows using topics, entities, and actions, enhancing bots with Power Automate for more complex interactions and automated processes. For integration, Power Virtual Agents can trigger Power Automate flows to perform actions like sending emails, retrieving data, or updating records based on user interactions. Integrating Microsoft Power Platform tools. One of the strengths of Microsoft Power Platform is the ability to integrate these tools to create comprehensive solutions. First, end-to-end automation. An example can be a user submits a form in Power Apps which triggers a Power Automate flow to update a SharePoint list, send an email notification, and update a Power BI dashboard. Enhanced user experience. An example can be a Power Virtual Agent chatbot answers customer questions and based on the user's input triggers a Power Automate flow to create a new support ticket in Dynamics 365. Data-driven decisions. Example can be a Power BI dashboard identifies a sales trend which triggers a Power Automate flow to notify the sales team via the Microsoft Teams and prompt them to take action. One of the hands-on exercise that you can do is create a simple integration between Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power BI. For example, build a Power App that collects data, triggers a flow to update a SharePoint list, and then update a Power BI report. Preparation for the PL-900 certification exam. The PL-900 exam tests your knowledge of Microsoft Power Platform and your ability to use its tool effectively. Here's how to prepare. The exam code is PL-900. The skills measured include describe the business value of Microsoft Power Platform, identify core components of Microsoft Power Platform, and demonstrate the capabilities of Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents. You've done most of it already and you should be good to go. But some of the study tips include review the basics. Make sure you're comfortable with the key concepts of each tool. Go back through the Microsoft Learn modules and your notes. Practice. Use the hands on exercises you have completed to solidify your understanding. Try creating new workflows, apps, and bots to ensure you can apply what you learned. Mock exams. Take mock practice tests to familiarize yourself with exam format and identify any areas where you need further review. Community resources. Join the Microsoft Power Platform community forums to ask questions, share knowledge, and learn from others who have taken the exam. Some of the learning resources can be Microsoft Learn. Complete the relevant modules for each tool to ensure you've covered all the topics. Exam prep videos. Watch exam preparation videos available on platforms like YouTube or Microsoft official channel, which is also one of these videos. Practice test. Use platforms like MeasureUp to take practice exams and track your progress. Final review and reflection. Some of the key takeaways from today are you now have a solid understanding of the core components of Microsoft Power Platform and how they can be integrated to create powerful business solutions. You are well equipped to automate processes, build custom apps, create insightful reports, and develop intelligent chatbots. Some of the questions to consider are what area do you feel most confident in and where might you need more review? How can you apply your knowledge of the Power Platform in your current role or future projects? What's next? If you feel ready, you can start scheduling your PL-900 exam. Continue practicing review any areas where you feel less confident and take advantage of the resources available too. If you have any further questions or need additional support as you prepare, feel free to ask. Good luck with your exam preparation. Day 6 of your week 2. This is the final preparation and practice for your PL 900 exam. Today is all about final preparation and practice as you gear up for the PL 900 certification exam. We're focusing on reviewing key concepts, taking mock exams, and addressing any last minute questions or concerns you might have. Final review of key concepts. Let's go over the main areas covered by the PL900 exam. First, describe the business value of Microsoft Power Platform. Digital transformation. Understand how Power Platform helps businesses innovate, automate processes, and gain insights. Components and benefits. Be able to explain the core components Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agents, and their benefits such as increased productivity, efficiency, and data driven decision making. Identify core components of Microsoft Power Platform. They are the Common Data Service, which is Dataverse. Review how Dataverse serves as the underlying data platform, enabling secure data storage and integration across the Power Platform. Connectors. Understand how connectors allow the Power Platform to integrate with other systems and services. Demonstrate the capabilities of Power BI. Data visualization. Be comfortable with creating reports, dashboards, and using different visualization types. Data modeling. Review the basics of data modeling, including relationships, calculated columns, and measures. Interactivity. Understand how to implement drill through, cross filtering, and bookmarks for interactive reports. Describe the capabilities of Power Apps. Canvas apps. Know how to create and customize a Canvas app, connect to data sources, and use formulas. Model driven apps. Understand the purpose of model driven apps and how they differ from Canvas apps. Integration. Review how Power Apps can trigger Power Automate flows and integrate with other Microsoft tools. Demonstrate the capabilities of Power Automate. Flows. Be familiar with creating different types of flows, automated, instant or scheduled, and using triggers, actions, conditions, and loops. Integrations. Understand how Power Automate connects with Power Apps, Power BI, and external services to automate processes. Demonstrate the business value of Power Virtual Agents. Chatbot creation. Review the process of building chatbots using Power Virtual Agents, including topics, entities, and conversational flows. Integration with Power Automate. Understand how to enhance bot functionality by triggering flows. Practice with mock exams. Take a practice exam. The purpose of this is simulate the exam experience to access your readiness and identify any areas where you might need further review. Sources for this can be used platforms like MeasureUp, exam topics, or even Microsoft's official practice test. Aim to complete the practice exam under timed conditions to mimic the real test. Review your results. Identify weak areas. Focus on any questions you got wrong or found challenging. Review the relevant topics to ensure you understand the concepts. Reinforce strengths. Even in areas where you perform well, ensure you can confidently explain the concepts as this will help you during the actual exam. Last minute tips and resources. Exam strategy. Time management. Keep an eye on the clock during the exam. If a question seems difficult, mark it for review and move on, returning to it later if time allows. Read questions carefully. Make sure you fully understand what each question is asking before selecting your answer. Look out for keywords that might indicate the best practice. Resources for review. Microsoft Learn. Revisit any modules where you feel less confident. Focus on key areas like Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power Virtual Agents. Community forums. If you have any last minute questions, consider reaching out to the Microsoft Power Platform community for quick answers. Relax and prepare mentally. Rest. Ensure you get a good night's sleep before the exam. Being well rested will help you think more clearly and perform better. Mindset. Approach the exam with confidence. You are prepared thoroughly and you have the knowledge needed to succeed. Final reflection and readiness check. Confidence check. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident do you feel about taking the exam? If you're below an 8, consider doing a final review of any weak areas. Do you have any remaining questions or concerns before the exam? Now's the time to address them. What's next? If you feel ready, go ahead and schedule your PL-900 exam if you have not. Remember, you put in the work and are well prepared to succeed. Good luck. If you need any final clarifications or support, I'm here to help. Just leave in the comments and I'll get back to you.